Hey guys, it's Joe from Finding Faith, and I'm going to continue talking with Dr. Kyle Waters about science and faith and how they can actually work together as opposed to working against each other. So what are some ways that you personally see science and faith being compatible?
Well, I think that one of the repeated themes that we see in the Christian faith is the glory at the wonder of God's creation. And this shows up as early as Genesis, repeatedly in the Psalms, throughout the Old Testament, and in the New Testament as well. We see believers just being in awe of the universe that God has created for us. And I think that's something that any scientist has experienced, whether Christian or not. Anyone who has spent years of their life pursuing science and investigating science in the natural world has almost certainly at some point had an experience like this, where you are just in awe of how awesome the universe we live in is. I sometimes hesitate to use the word awesome. I think it can be certainly overused in our modern society, but I'm using it in the sense that we are in awe of something because it is awesome. And that's certainly the case in astrophysics. It's very easy to encounter this when you see the incredible beauty of the universe that we live in. From these amazing nebulas and star-forming regions to emerging galaxies to merging galaxies, doing this intricate dance of gravitational attraction, to the incredible explosive death of a star at the end of its life cycle, which, by the way, has this very kind of Lion King circle of life type aspect to it, where the material from this star goes and seeds the birth of new stars. It's very beautiful, very intricate. The way it ties together, it's not, I hesitate to say it's proof of a creator, but it's certainly strong evidence pointing towards the beauty, the elegance, the intricacy of the universe we live in. That's strong evidence pointing towards a creative mind that built it all. So I think it's a very natural inclination to study the universe we live in and then give praise to the God who created it.
Cool. So my next question to you then is, how do you personally balance faith and science and not go too far in either, well, and particularly in the science direction? Because like you said, it's so awe-inspiring. It could almost, I think in some people's minds take away from the glory of God.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm trying to remember, there's a scientist, I think it was Richard Feynman, who was certainly not a Christian, but a very famous scientist, who would talk about the idea that there's some people who would argue, isn't all your science and explaining ruining the beauty of something? What if I just want to look at a flower and I don't care about the genetics or where it came from or the interesting components of it? And I think it's Feynman who said, that's not my experience at all. And I think it's Feynman who said that that's not been my experience at all. And I would agree, that's not my experience either. Understanding how something works, understanding the intricacies, the deep down stuff, the underlying mechanisms that explain how something like a flower works or why the sun shines, does not detract from my appreciation of its beauty at all. It actually enhances it. Understanding the amazing complexities, the intricacies, the simultaneous elegance of the physical laws that go into governing something like how a flower blooms or a star shines makes me all the more appreciative of it. So studying the science more and more and being able to explain at a deeper and deeper level natural phenomena absolutely does not detract from my appreciation of them or my admiration of the God who created them. On the other hand, I would say it enhances them.
So the trick for you seems to be making sure that you bring it back to faith in the end.
Yeah, and I think that as a Christian, my faith is not something that ever gets put on hold. I don't compartmentalize. It's not like, here's the faith part of Kyle and here's the science part of Kyle, and this is me Monday through Friday and this is me on Sundays. My faith informs all that I do. When I am doing astrophysics research, I'm not putting my faith brain on pause. It's not like there are these two different versions of me, the scientist version and the Christian version. There's just me. And I think that's really God's intention for us all. Right? There's different parts of the body, right? Some of us will be scientists, and some of us will be lawyers, and some of us will be social workers, and some of us will be teachers, and all these different things. But anyone can be a Christian. But you're not asked to set aside your profession, your occupation, your calling, and have that be something that's separate from your faith. They're absolutely supposed to be something, two things that work together. Your faith should inform all aspects of your life. There's an Abraham Kuyper quote that I heard within the last year that I really like, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't have it memorized word for word necessarily, but it goes something like, there is not a single square inch in all of creation over which Christ does not say, mine. And I love that quote, and that should apply to our lives as well, right? There's no aspect of your life that should not be given up to Christ if you're living as a Christian.
And we're going to continue this in another part because Kyle actually has a lot to say that I think are really worth addressing in this area. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Go ahead, like, comment, share my videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed day or a blessed night.